One. Welcome, fam, to the week 12 of the 2025 season of the FFFL. Injury report and waivers just this evening. Our special every Thanksgiving host. A little bit of a snafu this evening. Blew out a tire, it sounds like, in Ohio, and I don't know if he's going to make it back, everybody. So we'll find out tomorrow on tomorrow's call whether or not he will do that. But I want to make sure we get the injury report and waivers to you all. So let's get it rolling. And as you all know, if we have an injury report, we have to have a sponsor. And I'm lucky enough this week to have the sponsor on the call with us because it's Carl's Tater Shack. Carl, you're on the line with us, man. I appreciate you hopping on to talk about your business.
How you doing tonight?
Oh, we're doing good. I mean, our guest, which I don't want to break the news of who our special guest is, even though he's on every Thanksgiving, had an unfortunate car issue today. So he's not doing great, but I'm doing all right.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm here to talk about some taters.
Yeah. And you've called in a few times, already, and we've really grown to enjoy you. And we obviously want to support your business, Carl. Um, Tell us about your menu.
Well, we try to keep it simple. We really, I love fried potatoes and with my mustard, they're really good. But we try to keep it a little simple. We tried one time to get fancy and put some cheese and bacon bits on the fried taters, and some hog sneezed on it, so I stopped doing that. But we pretty much do any kind of fried tater. We prefer not to do the waffle fries that Dr. Sam seems to like because that's too much whittling for me.
Yeah, I try to explain to my boss at work, actually, Carl, of how you do it, and it is kind of a pain in the rear. I mean, but do you have anything more than just the taters?
Well, we do have, like I said, we have mustard, which always goes really well with them. But if somebody gets ornery, I got some tater whooping sauce. Don't make me use it. Don't make me use it, but it'll spice it up a little bit.
Oh, I'm sure it helps going down to going out as well, probably on that whooping sauce.
That's right.
What any like drinks or something to wash the taters down? Something?
Absolutely. We have some diet water that's really delicious. We serve that quite a bit of that. It's really thirst quenching.
Yeah, I do love diet water. I will say it's better than regular water, as far as keeping your diet in check.
It don't bloat you up that way.
Yeah, yeah, of course, because water does bloat you a bit if you have a little too much of the tater and then the water probably get bloated. But with diet water, just shoots right through you.
Yep. Yep. Sure
So,
does.
all right. So you do the taters, you got some diet water. With the taters, you say you don't do the waffle fry. Like, how do you cut them?
Well, we get a good sized tater about the size of some little toddler's head. Yeah, we start we trim it up. I like to use a Kaiser blade.
What
Some
the hell is that?
Well, some people call it like a sling blade, but a Kaiser blade's like a curved knife that really works well. So we
Okay.
we keep skin on, we cut them up, and then we give them a good deep frying. Mm. And then,
Well,
like I said, serve them with a little side of mustard, and oh.
I mean, it sounds good. I definitely am hungry for some taters. I will say that. Well, what are when you open, that's always helpful in some of this stuff, so we know when to go visit you.
Well, I'm usually open about every day. Just depends on what time I arrive. But
Okay.
We work about every day, and I'll get the fries ready and get them all ready for people to come, and I'll be happy to serve them.
Yeah. All right. So do you just kind of then leave whenever too? If you're just going in whenever, it sounds like you just leave
We usually try to stay open until 8.
whenever. Okay. Eight. Eight is a fine line. So we come in whenever, but close at eight. Why do you close at eight?
No, no, not 8 p.m. Once I've ate all the taters, that's when we close.
Got it. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, all right. Where can we find your shack?
Well, I usually find any kind of vacant shack along the highway. I have my own little mini fryer and stuff, so like you see in the picture there, that's pretty much where I set up my goods. But usually you'll see me somewhere along the side of the highway. Usually I've run out of gas, so I just try to find the nearest one.
Well, it's good that you're mobile. So you're kind of like a food truck, but no
That
truck.
that'd be real nice if I could. Maybe we could do a GoFundMe thing and get me a food truck. There we go.
That would be nice. Maybe for the podcast too. We can just make it a traveling show, Carl. We'll just make it a traveling thing.
Sounds good to me.
Well, Carl, thank you for sponsoring this week and helping pay for Dr. Sam's expenses. I know it probably took a lot of tater to do that, so
Yeah,
appreciate it.
yep, it did, but I'm happy to do it for you fellers.
Well, thank you again, Carl. Well, Carl, so I'm about to play Dr. Sam's injury report, but after that, I have a waiver wire what to do's. Do you want to like hang on a bit and do
Sure.
that?
Yeah, I've been looking at them a little bit myself.
Okay, yeah, it's a good week, oddly, for it. I like a lot of things going on. So, well, let us go ahead and listen to Dr. Sam. He might help us out with a few things here to get us on the right track and know what we need to do. And then we'll get back to the waiver.
Sounds good.
All right, Dr. Sam, where art thou?
Okay, pretty short and sweet week 12 injury roundup here. Bucks quarterback Baker Mayfield looks like he's got a low grade AC sprain. Basically have to check the practice reports during the week to see if he's good to go this weekend. Cincinnati wide receiver T. Higgins out with a concussion. I think he got carted off the field, likely going to be out this week. Pretty quick to pass concussion protocol in a week. Las Vegas Raiders running back Ashton Genty looks like he had a low ankle sprain, but Pete Carroll doesn't seem like he's going to miss much time. New Orleans Saints running back Alvin Kamara looks like he's going to be sidelined for probably 1 to 3 weeks with an MCL sprain. So he'll probably be out for 1 to 3 weeks. Hard to tell with him. Steelers wide receiver DK Metcalf with an ankle injury was able to play the remainder of the Bears game. He was limited in practice today, so we'll have to see if he clears it by Friday. Cincinnati running back Taj Brooks, I think, can't read my own handwriting, is out with a concussion, likely going to be out. Detroit Lions wide receiver Khalif Raymond did injure his ankle, but he's on a short timetable to return by Thursday night for the game. And then last little roundup from last week, Michael Penix did undergo ACL surgery, so he's going to be out for the year.
Okay, he's got a little Georgia Tech supporting there, it looks like, Carl. Are you a Georgia Tech fan?
Oh, well, he probably is wagering money on it, but I, if somebody gets so much sponsorship money, he sure don't look real happy.
Well, I think the guy who runs the whole thing needs to help out and get the money to him. Sometimes it just doesn't make its way. I don't know why.
Might be.
Yeah, maybe that's why he's not. Maybe he's not happy with me, but he keeps doing it. So that's kind of the nice part. So then I kind of think, well, if he keeps doing it, then why do I need to do anything different on my end? You know.
I hear you.
All right, Carl. Well, you said you'd hang out with us
Sure.
with these waiver wire what to dos, and you've been checking it out. And we did have some injuries this week that could cause some vaulting up the boards for some of these people. So let's get right into it. You know, I know you've seen a few of these now, so you know how it goes. And we're going to start with the quarterbacks here. Carl, if you know, I know you're not in the league yourself, but if you were in the league, do you like any of these guys to be your quarterback?
No,
Just a flat no. All right. Well,
I
I
don't
don't
see.
either, Carl. That's my problem. But I do think Tua Tagovailoa against New Orleans because New Orleans just they're not good, and so therefore I think he could actually do some damage. And Kirk Cousins actually oddly didn't look too bad this go around this week. So maybe if we can get Drake London back for him, he might be a decent guy. But not much going on in the QB streets this week. All
Nope.
right. But in the other areas, I think we do got some good stuff going on here. Um, you know, you said you were looking at it. Were you looking at running backs? Because maybe that's something that you need. You seem to be doing a lot of running around. So
I do get around, not quite as fast as I used to, but I get around. But that one Neil guy from New Orleans, since that Karma guy's out,
yeah,
he'll have some fresh legs, I think.
I think so too. And their other backup guy is not. He's on IR. He's out for the year. So Devin Neal would be the best pickup of the week, obviously, and you can see that by the projected points.
I,
Um,
I would agree.
I'll give you two more, and it's just because of kind of injury. It's injury related, but Quinshon Judkins for the Cleveland Browns, he exited the game like a couple times, I think, due to some injuries. So I would wonder if he might be questionable, and therefore Dylan Sampson might be a good one to pick up just in case. And then Dr. Sam talked about Ashton Genty with a ankle sprain. And while the coach wasn't too sure if he would miss any time, if he does, maybe a Raheem Mostert might actually get some good playing time. And though he's not very high on the projections, if Genty doesn't go, it's Mostert's game right there.
Well, I think he's about as old as I am.
He is on the other side of his career, I would say. We'll just say it that way. But somehow he gets jobs. I don't know. I don't know, Carl. All right. Well, let's go. We got couple more positions. Let's hit the wide receivers. Anybody on here that you look at and you say, that's my guy?
Yeah, there's a couple I'd probably look at, but first of all, that Dyke guy, he'll be probably number one receiver on a bad offense. Yep.
Yep. I like that call. You said you had a couple though, Carl. Did you want to throw out another one, or you want to keep them secret so people don't just take all your advice without paying you some money?
Maybe. But now I think you got that Parker Washington's been playing pretty well. But you got more people coming in with, I think they picked up some dude, Myers or something like that.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that might cut into him, but he's been playing pretty well. And then you also, out of nowhere, going to the bottom of the well, you got that, I can't even pronounce, John Mechie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But again, on another bad offense.
That's the tough part. They got a couple. They got the Adonai Mitchell, who actually had a good amount of targets, I think, in the game, if I'm not mistaken. It just didn't work out so well. So again, bad offense. But um, there's a lot on here, I think, to kind of take shots at. I mean, you heard about T. Higgins and concussion protocol, and they play Thursday night, so he's probably not going to make it through. That's way too quick usually for the concussion stuff. So maybe that Yoshivas guy for Cincinnati, wide receiver there, he could do well. And oddly, even though DJ Moore had a great game because of the two touchdowns, Luther Burden for Chicago still getting some run. He's getting more and more run each week. So he looks good too doing it. But he's going against Philly, so I don't like that as much. And then the last one I'll tell is Jaden Reed, wide receiver for the Green Bay Packers, very electric wide receiver. Like him a lot, but it's the Packers, and so you never know who's going to get the ball in it. And he's coming off a couple injuries of a broken collarbone, I think, as well as like a ankle injury or a foot injury. He's got lots going on there, Carl.
And these guys need to be more careful out there. It's kind of dangerous sport.
Very yes, very much. But if you need a wide receiver this week, Carl, I think this is the week to need one because there's some gold in them hills. All
All
right.
right.
Well, let's finish off with the tight ends. And uh, we got a guy in our league whose favorite player is Taysom Hill. And he just loves hearing about Taysom Hill and why he might be a good guy to pick up. Do you think he'd be a good one, Carl?
You know, I hear they call them the Swiss Army knife, but that's nothing compared to a sling blade.
That's a good one, Carl. I like where you went there. Anybody on here though that I know you seem to not enjoy the Swiss Army knife because you can't cut potatoes very well, but any
So,
other tight ends here that you think could cut the mustard?
yeah, that strange fella. He looks pretty good too. He's coming back, but he's a little strange.
Yeah, he's a little off, you know.
But
I would
I think,
agree. Yeah. What else you got, Carl?
well, they got that Pitts guy up there, but what the hell's he ever done? Hmm.
The unicorn, as they call him, and I would agree because you don't really see him. You know,
We go. Yep, yep. And one
but
more. I've seen bits and pieces of this AJ Barner. He's had a couple games where he's been pretty good, but
yep.
been consistent.
Yeah, and I think one of the things I heard recently is that Minnesota, we look at them as a real stout defense, and they are,
Yeah,
and they don't give up much to wide receivers, the receiving game, except for on the perimeter, so on the outside. And guess what? AJ Barner doesn't usually play there because I would agree. He's been a very nice surprise this year at tight end for them. But I don't know if this will be the week against Minnesota because he's usually coming out of that inside in that slot where they do pretty well. But I do like Mike Gesicki. Again, T. Higgins out, going against Baltimore, who hasn't done well against receiving threats, and Gesicki's a good one, a good receiving threat. And usually when a player's out, he gets a lot more of the ball thrown to him. So I even like him. So there's more gold in them hills with with the tight ends this week.
so you're saying you're picking him up?
I would pick many of these guys up. Carl, I'm probably going Taysom Hill. I want to get all the rushing touchdowns a tight end can get.
Yeah, well, you go right ahead. I know you got a better pick than a lot of people, but there's
I
reason.
probably don't now. I think I'm usually hitting the waivers every single week and making sure I'm at the bottom again. That's usually what's happening to me, Carl. I don't care. I don't care about waiver priority, okay? I just want players.
Yep, you gotta have good players. I'm telling you, and a good tight end, something good to have.
I would agree. I would agree. Well, Carl, that's the end of the waiver wire here. I appreciate you sticking on with me. This has been a really nice time. I never had a sponsor call in to help with their promotion, and I also then haven't had one stay to talk about football. So we appreciate it.
I like to watch some football when I'm eating my fried taters, so yeah, they go well together. But I don't understand why we're not talking about kickers available.
Well, that's for another time. We'll leave that be. If you played football, Carl, is that the position that you would play? Would you be a kicker, or would you be
Uh,
something else?
and now I think I'd be one of them, you know, big old linemen, because I kind of got knocked in the bail a few times playing football when I was younger. Not that you could probably tell, but you know, that's where I'd probably be.
I mean, I imagine that you'd be playing special teams. You'd be the gunner on, that's just running down uh, the punt returner. That seems to be like your spot right there.
I'll just stay with the sling blade. I don't need any guns.
Well, that's good. Stay safe, Carl. And Carl, um, I hope you're at least taking some time off for the holiday coming up here and Thanksgiving. And we're thankful for you here at the FFFL. You've really made a lot of nice additions to this podcast.
Well, thank you. And you all have a happy Thanksgiving too.
Yeah, and Joyers, you got any plans? You're going to be hanging out at the Tater Shack.
Well, I'll be open in case anybody wants some taters, but I think it'll be a slow day.
Oh, well, I would imagine so. But hey, that means more taters for you.
Taters and football.
All right, Carl. Well, we love you over here from at the FFFL. Thank you again for hopping on with me, and we wish you a happy Thanksgiving.
Well, happy Thanksgiving to all you.
All right,
Have a good night.
you do the same. Much love.